Here is what you missed on Malone's Hype Line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mona J will be in the building here today, answering your calls, and we're going to talk to her and, just show her some love. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and get on the line. Mona J, are you there?
I am here. Hello, everyone.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, anytime, man. It's always a pleasure. I have to say, I love having positive, powerful women on my show. I really do, because you really, I checked you out, and I really do respect what you do. You're an ambassador of empowerment for women, I believe.
I do empowerment speaking. I've, been through a lot of things in my life to have gotten to the point where I am now. So I just do it as a give back to not just, women. I do it for teens, kids, male and female, because I went through so many things in life that people can relate to. So I do my empowerment speaking as a give back, so they can either avoid what I've been through, or they can get through the things that I've been through.
That's what's up, man, and that's real awesome, because I have to tip my hat to you, because a lot of people, when they get to a certain stage of success, they always want what's good for them, and sometimes it's just good to give back and just really embrace other people, and I respect you for that.
Thank you.
We do have a lot of people on this show who come and who are in an abusive relationship, whether they're on a physical standpoint or emotional standpoint. So, what would you say? What would you say to some people if they're in that type of situation as of right now?
Most times it doesn't get better. We stay in those relationships because we feel like the person's going to finally change. You don't think about it as you're going through it, that, you have to give that person a reason to change, which is leave them alone, and maybe they'll realize that they lost someone that they truly loved because of, the violence and the domestic abuse that they went through, either, like you said, physically or emotionally. But if you never, it's just like never whooping a child. If you never whoop a child, they never realize that they're doing wrong. So you have to show them that this is not the way you treat a woman. You respect a woman, you love a woman, you treat her like a queen. But us as women, we feel like, oh my God, this is my everything, and one day he's going to stop beating me and he's going to change. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't get better. It only gets worse, because people will only do what you allow. So if you continuously allow a man to keep hitting on you, he's going to do it because he feels like you're not going anywhere. And when I finally put my foot down, that was my eye-opener as to leave this alone. I'm not going back to it, and I never turned back to it from that point on. And the guy actually, to this day, and that's been years ago, he always, tells me how he felt like he missed out on the one woman that he truly loved. He's not abusing women no more, and he learned from it. Some men never do. But for him, he learned from it. And, but he'll never have me back because of the things that he done to me. So as a woman speaking to another woman out there that's going through domestic abuse, normally it doesn't get better. And if you have kids, that is not fair to your kids, because they will grow up feeling like that's okay. If they're a girl, they're going to feel like it's okay for a man to beat on a woman. If they're a guy, they're going to feel like it's okay to beat on a woman. So, be a role model to your family and to your kids that this is not an okay thing to do.
Now, I know that you're an X-Squad DJ.
Yes, I'm an X-Squad DJ. As I'm not actually a DJ, I'm in training to be a DJ, but I run with that coalition. as an assistant. As I mentioned earlier, Jack Russell, who is a manager to Young LA, who used to be signed to Grand Hustle, a T.I.'s label. He met me years ago when I was a radio host on an AM station in Athens, Georgia. And because there was no radio station from Atlanta to Augusta, our AM station, it was an underground radio station and it was AM, it ended up getting a lot of exposure because there was no radio outlets that actually reached from, the Athens, from Atlanta to the Augusta area. After you leave Atlanta, there was no other radio outlets. So we was picking up a lot of artists, even though they were signed to major record labels. So I met Jack Russell during that time that I was, an AM radio host. When I came to Atlanta last year, I still had connections with Jack, and he introduced me to a guy named DeMills, who is the CEO of Esquire DJs, and I began as his assistant, just assisting him with things that he needed. Then he was like, well, I need, a radio host to do Celebrity Sundays. So I started being a radio host for him, along with I was like, it was two of us, again, me and a guy. We hosted the show, and I was afforded the opportunity to, to interview people such as the legendary Curtis Blow, and Melba Moore, and, reruns, from What's Happening, his daughter. So I was afforded to actually interview some old school, celebrities from back and some new school people, as well. But that was my opportunity with Esquire DJs. Now, I still stay affiliated with them, and I'm actually training now up under one of the Esquire DJs to actually learn how to DJ. So, the grind never stops for me.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah,
So,
that learning how to DJ is not a joke. Trust me. When I started learning how to, I had to get scratching, learn how to beat match, all that other stuff, and it was just it takes a lot of practice. So.
yeah, and I'm willing, the thing is I've been through the worst of the worst in my life, so, and I'm used to grinding, but I'm 100% at what I do. Sometimes a lot of, our own people would tell us, you need to focus on one thing and, master that one thing. I have become a successful actress in a television sitcom. I am in production for my own television show. It'll be in production for the next 4 months, and then it'll start airing next year. I've been a radio host, a successful red carpet correspondent that interviews celebrities. I'm hosting major events. I manage producers. I manage 5 of them. One of them had his, a placement with Baby D featuring Gucci Man. The other ones have been, artists like Michael Montano, Rich Homie Quan, artists that are on the rise that have still been signed to record labels. So everything that I touch has turned to gold. So the thing is, if you want to do something and you set your mind to it, people don't understand that you actually create your future. You create your life, and you could be 100. You can give 100% to 25 things, but as long as you give 25%, 100% to all 25 of those things, and don't just lack. You can't say, "Oh, I'm this, and that," but you're more concentrated on that one thing, but the other things you're not putting 100% into it. If you're successful in all 25 things and they're all bringing you a stream of income, do them all. I went to a speaking engagement with that T.G. Jakes and Boris Kodajo was there. And, one guy that was there was like, you need to have 8 streams of income coming in 8 different ways. And he's absolutely right, because, in the stock market, when the economy dropped with the market on housing and everybody put their eggs in one basket, they lost millions because they were just, a real estate agent, or they were selling houses, or they own houses. So if you don't have accounts receivable, you don't have money coming in from different areas, then if one of the things you concentrated on, it fails, then what are you going to do?
Caller from the 601 area code. You're on the phone with DJ Malone and Mona J. Who is this?
I guess it's me, Artisan Drew.
How you doing, artist?
How you doing?
Chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm good.
I was going. Yeah, I had a question. I was going to ask. I was like, when you was younger and when you was trying to find yourself, when did you discover yourself as being somebody that was different from everybody else and that had a different kind of future that you had to map out your own way? When did you discover that?
I think, to be honest with you, I always thought I was different. Because when I was younger, you know how little girls play with friends and they play with Barbie dolls, and I never was a Barbie doll girl, and I never wanted to play with friends. I used to sit to myself and write poems, and I played by myself, and I wasn't, even though I was a popular girl, I had plenty of friends when I went to school. That never was the case, but I always was a thinker. I always thought, and at 8 years old, I used to see a lot of men. You know, my mama was one of them ones that, she didn't have a successful relationship. So I used to see a lot of men come in and out of my mom's life. And I told myself at 8 years old, I remember clearly, I am not going to turn, not that I don't love my mom. My mom is a minister now. She's changed her life and everything. But I remember telling myself at 8 years old, I'm not going to end up like my mom, and I'm not going to choose a man before I choose my kids. Because at that young age, I felt like she was trying to be in a relationship so bad that, not that she didn't love us, but she always was trying to please that man before she pleased herself and before she pleased her kids. So at a young age, I always told myself I'm going to be different. Now, I did get lost along the way. The world, kind of took hold of me. I got pregnant at a young age or whatever, but I was always a go-getter. And so you got to think about it, I raised myself since I was 12. I had to cook for myself. I had to, get out there and take care of myself. I had to find a way to get clothes. I had to find a way to, to make it work, because my mama was out there trying to, do her thing. And she left me with, our sister. So, I think at an early age, I was forced to think at that time, I got to be different. I got to do something different. And never did I think it was going to be to this level of, entertainment.
Make sure you tune in on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. 773-897-3976. Only on Blog Talk Radio.